I'm gonna buy some shit.
The lineal heavyweight champ, the current WWE champion, takes a new fighter 644 days out of the ring. It feels like you spent 44 of those days in the boxing ring. Is that true? It hasn't been a 12-week.
This is the dirtiest business on earth, but that was the best performance in the history of sports. Like, I honestly, I like, they have to do a rematch. See, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. In all honesty, it doesn't matter. And I'll tell you why. The belt wasn't on the line this time. Like, the belt wasn't on the line. Wait, why is this not charging? There we go. The belt wasn't on the line. Like, the goal, hang on. Okay, let me start. Let me start here. Oh my God, Gabrielle, come here. Markel was there the whole time. Look at him. He's in the Saudi Arabia shit. Okay. Like, the belt wasn't on the line, right? Like, this was a exhibition, because no one on planet Earth gave Francis any chance to beat Tyson Fury in 100 million years. Impossible. And like, all I've been saying this whole time, I've said the same thing over and over and over, is like, on paper, it is fundamentally impossible that Francis wins this fight. But every step of Francis's journey has been longer odds than this fight. Like, this fight, when you say impossible, it's like, it's not like actually impossible. To go from working in a Cameroon sand mine and in your mid-20s and go, I think I'm going to go be the heavyweight champion of the world, when you've had no boxing training, that's impossible. To start the journey as like a refugee, that just to get over there is nearly impossible. This guy got so like, he started in Cameroon. It was like they went to the forest where he had to live on squirrels and shit that they caught. Every time that they would get to a certain point of the desert, they would send them back to the forest. He just was so stubborn. He gets to the desert. He finally, after 100 tries, gets through the desert. Then he has to go over razor wire. Then he has to get across the Atlantic Ocean just to get to Europe to start training. He got caught 11 times trying to paddle across the Atlantic Ocean like refugees from Cuba. One of the times they lost the paddles, and they were trying to paddle with their fucking hands, dude. With their fucking hands. And when he finally gets there, he gets arrested and gets put in Spanish jail. That's how he started in Europe. 2 years just to get to step one, starting at 25, dude. He gets to France. He's living homeless. He's living in a garage, dude. He has no money, absolutely no money. No, he knows no one, no money, dude. He becomes the UFC heavyweight champion. Impossible. Impossible. He's the first person to get out of their UFC contract while holding the belt. It's never happened. Not once. It's never happened, at least in the modern age. He does it. Everyone says he blew it, dude. Everyone says that he fucked up. He dropped the bag. He made a terrible mistake. He fucked up, including me about the boxing, because he fired my boy, Markel, who's my really good friend. He did the PFL deal. This entire Tyson Fury thing fell apart because Markel was the one driving it. I did about 75 fucking videos about that, where I was like, dude, you can't get this fight without a team. It's not possible. Puts Markel back on. Markel, they pick up the pieces. They get this fight. All that, basically impossible. Markel, who rolled the dice with every step of the way contractually, Markel, living in LA in an apartment, advised Francis to turn the money down. Okay? Like, we're not talking small money for him, dude. Like, if Francis takes any of those contracts in the UFC, he's getting paid, he's going to make like $6 million up to like $8 million per fight, which Markel's going to make $600,000 to $800,000. You know how much fucking money that is? Like, forget about what like fighters make. Think about your life. That's Markel's life. Your life, my life, Markel's life. And he's advising him at every turn to turn down that money, knowing that if Francis loses, it all goes away. No one has ever bet more on a person than Markel bet on Francis, aside from Francis betting on himself. He went into the fucking Cyril Gane fight with a torn MCL. No one knew that. I knew that. No one knew. I knew. And I went to that fight. Everybody was like, in that fight, his life was on the line, dude. If he would have lost that fight, the UFC would have made an example of him and they would have fucking buried him, dude. They would have buried him. He loses the first 2 rounds. Markel is cage side. I'm in the 6th row. And Francis comes back in the last 3 rounds to win. And then that's me and Markel after the fight. Oh, what did Chael say? Jesus. So he wins. Contract dispute gets out, signs with PFL. Everybody's like, okay, great. He's signing with PFL, gets this fight. No one with a brain who knows anything about combat sports gave him even 1% chance of winning. %. Not 1%. And then he won that fight. He won that fight. I don't care what the judges say. Francis is not hurt. Francis, I don't know, dude. There's a handful of rounds that were super close where no one really got super hurt. The only rounds that I saw where someone definitively won the rounds was the 3rd, which should have been 10-8, by the way. I don't know if they scored it 10-8, but he should have been 10-8. The 8th round, Francis fucked him up. That was not close. And there was maybe 1 or 2 rounds, I can't remember, that Tyson Fury probably won, but he never hurt Tyson. He never rattled him, never rocked him. Tyson's face is fucked. He got knocked down. Francis won that fucking fight, dude. Oh, okay, hang on. Let me hold on. Someone just said Dana's pissed. I wanted to put that up. Dude, this wasn't a matter of the experts, man. This was sorry about that. I'm so rattled that I can't even Jesus. How has boxing ever looked at the same? It used to be boxing heavyweight champ and had claimed to baddest man on the planet. MMA, UFC has that title. Okay, first of all, that comment is exactly where I was about, because what I was looking for when I was scrolling and accidentally exited the stream is I was looking for the comment that the guy said, Dana's going to be pissed, right? So let me just say this, right? So the last few days since the stupid fucking Bud Light deal or whatever, I've been all worked up about the idea of people boycotting UFC. I don't give a fuck about that anymore. I don't give a fuck about that. That's business. This right here, this story is dude, you'll never, ever find a better story that encompasses why this is the best fucking sport of all time ever. And that was the best performance of all time ever. Like, what this guy went through to get that fight, and that dude, Tyson Fury's the best heavyweight in history in his prime. In his fucking prime. Tyson Fury's 33-0 with 24 knockouts, coming off like 6 straight knockouts over the best boxers in the world. One draw, and then one draw with Deontay in there. Like, anybody saying, look at anybody saying that Francis didn't win. Here's the thing, dude. Like I was just saying, it doesn't matter whether he actually, like if you were like, no, think about the 1st, 4th, 5th, whatever. It doesn't matter. He won. This was an exhibition. No one gave him a prayer in hell of getting through this fight, much less having it be a 1-point split decision. Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight ever in his prime, and Francis in his first professional boxing match ever got that close, dude, and could have easily been given that fight. He's going to almost certainly get a rematch, and if not, he'll get a Deontay Wilder fight, and every person on fucking earth will watch it. He's going to make so much money for his next boxing match. It's going to be ridiculous. So anyway, but like the Bud Light thing, I don't care about that anymore. Like, I don't care. I don't have it. Like, I'm too emotional about things to have room for like multiple things that I care about. You know what I mean? It's like, if something like this happens, which is like the most inspired I've ever been in my entire life, I don't give a fuck about Bud Light. I don't care about any of that shit. Like, that shit's yesterday. I don't care. But what I was going to say, and the reason why I bring that up about this is because when you say, baddest man on the planet and the Dana stuff, dude, this is the worst week of Dana's life. Like, at least in a long time, dude. I mean, depending on how this Bud Light thing works out, that's whatever, but you have to understand what actually just happened here as it relates to the UFC, okay? Francis did not want to leave the UFC. He didn't want to leave. That's not what he wanted. Now, Markel wanted him to leave the UFC for sure, because he didn't think that they needed him. He's like, what are they going to add? Like, what is UFC going to add? We can do this without them. We could do this independent. That's why he wanted to do it. He was right. But Francis wanted to stay. It was really important to him because at the time, Kamaru, him, and Israel Adesanya, the 2 guys that he came out with, were the 3 kings, the champions from Africa, right? All of them are no longer champions, but whatever, right? I mean, France is a champion, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, that was really important to him. So he wanted to stay. He wanted the UFC to co-promote him fighting Tyson Fury, and Dana would not do it. They tried to put I don't care. I'm just going to tell you guys this shit. Like, the way that they tried to do it is initially they tried to put it in the contract that he'd be able to box. And then they made all these conditions that, dude, you can write things into contracts that give you outs to where you don't actually have to do them. And they wrote it like that, where it was like, if he does this, and then whatever. And then there's other language where it's like, they never actually have to let him box, which means they wouldn't have let him box because they did not want to let him box. And the reason they didn't want to let him box is multifaceted. Number one, they did not want another UFC fighter to go and get a huge payday because every single UFC star is going to be banging the UFC asking for them to go do their crossover fight so that they can make a bunch of money, obviously. But the bigger thing is this. The UFC champion, to your point right here, Michael Bassett, excellent point. The UFC is considered, the UFC heavyweight champion is considered the baddest man on the planet, right? Like the idea that the boxing heavyweight champion is the number one guy is ridiculous. We all know that's not true. Obviously, that's not. I mean, forget about this boxing match. We all know that's not true. There's no heavyweight boxing champion that's going to be able to deal with, like Tom Aspinall, Almeida, Pavlovich, John Jones, like Francis, any of these guys, dude. Any of them will fuck their shit up, dude. They'll just take them down, smash their face in, and then strangle them. Like, everyone knows that. If Francis goes and fights Tyson Fury in a boxing match, Dana is like, okay, well, he's obviously going to get the fucking shit beat out of him. And then what does that do to our brand? Right now, UFC fighters, baddest man on the planet. If we let him go fight Tyson Fury and everybody gets to watch Tyson Fury beat his fucking brains in, it's a terrible move for the brand. He wasn't wrong. I mean, he was wrong. He was super fucking wrong. He was absolutely 180 degrees wrong. But he wasn't. If you assumed that Francis was going to get his shit pushed in, then yes, that is the correct play. You're like, why would I? The champions are a symbol of the brand. 1,000%. That's one of the that's one of the reasons why they're super selective about who they give title shots to. It's a symbol of the brand. And if you throw that symbol into a situation that he has no chance of winning, why the fuck would you do that? You're just, poisoning your own brand. And that's why they wouldn't do it. And that's why Francis left the UFC, because his original dream was to be the boxing world champion. And think about this. The way that he came up with that was he saw videos of Mike Tyson on TV, and he's like, I can go do that. The current heavyweight champion is Tyson Fury, named after Mike Tyson, and Francis got Mike Tyson to train him for this fight. Tell me that he did not manifest that into real life. Tell me he didn't create this, dude. So Dana took the smart, calculated the odds, did it strategically like I just laid it out, and he was wrong. And he was fucking wrong. And now what he just did is he lost, first person he's ever lost to, because what's the worst possible case scenario for the UFC and Dana? Worst case scenario by a mile is if Francis, not only when he gets out of his contract, gets the Tyson Fury fight, but then wins the Tyson Fury fight, which everyone thought was impossible. Or even does this well. That's their worst case scenario, because now Francis is a massive star and he's a fucking PFL fighter. He's a fucking PFL fighter now. This could not have been a worse outcome for the UFC, except if Francis would have knocked out Tyson Fury. But if he would have knocked him out like in the third, I actually don't even think that would have been, it would have been as bad. Francis lost a 1-point split decision in boxing, in his first boxing match. If people do not understand how fucking insane that is, dude, like given all the backstory, like, he's magic, dude. This is what I always said, dude. I was like, there's no way you can pick Francis, but Francis is magic. Like, I can't tell you I'm not going to be the guy that goes, hey, he's got a lot of power, dude. That's what they always say about these guys who cross over to boxing. Oh, listen, man, the guy's got a lot of one-punch power. It's like, get the fuck out of here with that, dude. With a boxing glove on, when is that ever translated? Like, when is someone who crossed over ended up being some nuclear power shot guy in boxing? Anderson Silva knocked out Tito Ortiz in boxing. Tito probably took a dive, bet $100,000 on himself. That's not even probably a legit knockout. It's never translated like that. He beat him with skills, dude, or matched him with skills. Now, Tyson Fury obviously probably did not take him as seriously as he probably should have. And so there's a high probability that they do a rematch, and this time they do it for the belt. That's why Francis won anyway, because they're going to do the rematch for the belt, and he's going to get paid fuck you money. He made I think he made $11 or $12 million for this fight, which is not that much for given the scope of this fight. And again, they bet on themselves, dude. They bet on themselves again, because this is what they believe. Let me ask you this. Did you guys see Francis's corner when he went to the corner after the third round when he knocked down Tyson Fury? Did you see them go crazy? Did you see them get excited? They were cool as fucking ice. They acted like they knew that was going to happen. They sat him down like this was his 50th fucking professional fight, and they've knocked down 100 guys before, like 100 knockdowns. Eric Nixick did not even look. He looked exactly the same as he always looks. They calmly put him in his chair. Ask Gabriel, come here. What did I say after the third round? I said they expected this outcome. Like, these guys, once you saw the third, you were like, these guys,
they were in a movie they had seen.
This is exactly what they thought was going to happen. Like, they genuinely believed they were going to win this fight, which is fucking insane, which is the only reason that you got this outcome.
It was so good. I'm so happy for him.
Francis just went to a split decision and dropped the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. Way to represent Francis. Exactly, dude. Like, you're telling me he didn't win? You're telling me he didn't win? Okay, so like the closest that Tyson Fury has gotten to losing that I'm aware of, aside from this, is the Deontay Wilder one, where he beat the living breaks off of Deontay Wilder boxing, and then Deontay Wilder almost decapitated him in the last round or whatever it was. Tyson Fury was unconscious and he got back up. Another absolutely inspiring moment because of the backdrop to that fight, where Tyson Fury becomes the world champion, undefeated, and then he buries himself in cocaine and booze, gains 300 pounds. You know, he's like, I think he was like 400 pounds or something. And then all of a sudden one day he's like, I'm gonna get it all back. Trained, and that was his comeback fight. And he wins the fight, then he gets knocked down in the fuck. I'll cry thinking about that. That moment was, no one gets up from that shot, dude. He was out. No one gets up from that shot when Tyson Fury got up, when Deontay hit him. But that's the closest that he's come to losing. He beat him every single bit. Like, as far as I'm concerned, he beat him basically every single round. They got clipped at the end and they were like, all right, draw. There's no one who could reasonably argue that Francis did not win if they would have gone 1 point split decision to Francis. Francis did by far the most damage in that fight. Exactly. Mind the gap. Francis's value. Jesus, man. Francis is not good on camera. He's not good on the microphone. Everybody's always known that. Well, he's good on camera. He's not good on the microphone. Everybody's always known that. He's fucking got a French accent, which fucks everybody. Nobody can sound tough with a French accent. It's not possible. Even if you're 6'6", 275 pounds, you do not sound tough when you talk out of your nose. This, you can never erase this, dude. Never. Which one are you guys going to go to? I'll meet you guys there in a second. Okay. You can never wash this off, dude. Never. I'm like, when I said it's the greatest performance in sports history, I'm not being like emotional. I genuinely believe that, dude. There has never, if he would have won, it would have been the biggest upset in the history of sports, not even by a small margin. Like this would have been USA over Russia in the Olympics in hockey in the 80s, dude, which they made 10 movies about. Like, this would have been whatever that movie is about, the USA beating Russia in the Olympics. That's this level, dude. Except more, because it's one fucking guy. And at least all those guys who were in college had been, doing hockey their whole life. No, not one of them had to go through what Francis did in order just to start training in his late 20s. Oh my God, dude. Daniel Tobia, thank you very much, dude. I know how close you are to the camp. You have to feel great, fucking incredible. Dude. It's just one of those things that validates your entire worldview. Like, anything is possible. There's nothing that can't be done if you believe and you put in the work, dude. If you see it you see it every day, it's a foregone conclusion. This is going to be the outcome, like Francis did. There's literally, I always give the example of if you're 5'6", you're not going to make the NBA. I'd fucking take it back, dude. I'd take it back. If Francis Ngannou can come I'm saying he beat him, dude. If Francis Ngannou can beat Tyson Fury, the most dominant heavyweight boxing champion in history, in the middle of his prime, his first boxing match, with Mike Tyson training him. This guy's named after Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's the inspiration that made Francis start from zero. Jesus, man. If anybody has not seen these, you fucking have to go to Mix Molly Wapari's page and watch the 3-part series on Francis Ngannou. It's the very dude, I never even thought about this. The first time that I advertised my channel was on that video, on the Francis Ngannou Mix Molly video. Shit, I had 0 subscribers when I did that. Fucking yeah, I mean, when I have the biggest show in the world, don't say that I didn't fucking tell you guys. Man. UFC, bad week. Yes. Yeah, dude, I forgot about that. I mean, I agree, dude. The UFC, Dana must have fucking broken a mirror and then walked under a ladder and then any other thing that you could do for bad, like walk by a black cat, kicked a baby or something, like, Jesus. John Jones, torn pec. Fucking. Oh. Wow, I would have forgotten that. Thank you. Dude, I ordered this like custom made Mexican skull with it's bone. It's like a bone skull. It's gonna have my logos on it. I'm gonna put it in the studio, and this guy had to like hand make it, and he's like, I didn't have any cash on me. He's like, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting I'm going to go make it, but you come by it Saturday. That's what that reminder is. I got to go pick that up. Man, dude. Let me just make sure that I don't completely fuck this guy. Oh, wait, I have another reminder anyway. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, dude. Jones tears his pec. Dude, did you guys see on Instagram that Dr. Bo, Dr. Bo Hightower, chiropractor buddy of mine that is in, oh God, what the fuck? Jackson Wink. John Jones's boy. So he paid $16,000 for the tickets to that fight for I think it was 6 seats, because Madison Square Garden, the seats are fucking ludicrous expensive, dude. He spent 16 grand on tickets to go because of John Jones, and then boop, torn pec. That's fucked up luck too. Not as bad as the UFC though, dude. And do I think it's a stain for boxing image? That's exactly what Chael texted me. That's exactly what Chael texted me. I don't know, whatever I was showing you guys on my phone when he texted, that's what he said. Basically, was oh yeah, he said Chael said that's the second time in a row I've seen the best in the world get beat up by a guy with no experience. Boxing's bullshit. And he's talking about Conor and Mayweather. Dude, that's a fucking fair point, man. That is a fair point. I can't even argue with that. But at least in the Conor and Mayweather one, there was strategy there. He obviously was trying to gas Conor out. As a matter of fact, I have not been this worked up watching an event since the Conor and Mayweather one. That one at the beginning of the fight, I was fucking after the fight, even though Conor lost, I was like, dude, I haven't had that much fun watching an event ever. This was like that, except amplified exponentially, dude. Oh my God. Wags his finger and his wife goes, I don't know what a chat is. Now you can call me Boomer because I don't know what a chat is. By the way, he beats Anthony Joshua now. Totally, dude. Totally. Fury got a little cheeky elbow in there too. Yep. And Ngannou versus Sinek next. My Gazan brother. Dude. Hang on. I think, my opinion, he's probably going to fight. I think they're going to do a rematch. I mean, they're planning on doing this Usyk fight, but are you serious? You want to go? You don't want to run that back, dude? You know what I mean? First time crossover fighter. You know what I mean? Just did you like that? He knocked him down, dude. Hang on. Let me. Yeah. I mean, listen, I think that there is a, thank you guys all for those super chats, by the way. I think there is a high likelihood that you get a Tyson Fury rematch. I would like, I love Tyson Fury also. I always have. And, but I would venture to say that if he doesn't do a rematch, that's super fucking bitch made, dude. Everyone on earth expected you to win. You want a 1-point split decision. Your face is fucked up. Francis looks completely fine. Dude, how insane was it when, what round was that? The fifth? Like, I think like the second half of the fifth round. You know, if you're good at like kind of recognizing when someone's gassed, where Francis started to gas. He threw this one punch. I think there was maybe like a minute left of the fifth. And he threw this overhand left counter, the one that he was throwing over and over. And it was like, all of a sudden, it was super labored. And I was like, oh shit, he's gassed. Because he had looked so good up to that point. I was like, he's gassed. I was talking to, like, I was going so nuts. My 6, 7, and 11-year-old and Gabrielle were like this on the screen because I told them the story. And all of them were literally just watching it like this. I had moved my iPad and they like all followed me and shit. And I was like, fuck. I'm like, he's tired, dude. I was like, he's fucking tired. And he was. He looked labored in the fifth and then fifth and sixth for sure. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was the seventh round where all of a sudden he got a second wind and he was snappy again. He beat the fuck out of Tyson Fury in the 8th round. That was the most dominant round of the fight. You know what I mean? What do I have to fight? Honestly, I thank you for the super chat. I don't know. I don't know. I was too emotional to think straight, dude. I was too emotional to think straight. Like all I was thinking was, like once he knocked him down, and there were a couple other shots that he barely missed by, where I honestly thought he was going to knock Tyson Fury out. I really did. And then, well, until the 5th, and then the 5th he got tired, and then I thought Tyson Fury was going to step on the gas and, you know, take advantage of his fatigue and then beat him down. And then in the 7th again, Francis started coming back, and I thought he was going to, because he was doing so well. I'm like, how does the storybook end? You know what I mean? Like this is a story. Like this can't, like this is like destiny. You know what I mean? Wait, hang on. Okay, here's what Chael said to let you guys know what he missed. He says this was by Francis. He allowed the Ukrainian to get in the ring and promote a world title fight over a guy he just beat up. Even KSI was smart enough to demand a rematch on the spot. Fucking exactly, dude. And the only reason that I didn't even know is because I was setting this live stream up and I listened to Francis. I just assumed that of course he would call for a rematch, and then I turned the volume down as I went live. That's it. Nobody is better at this shit than fucking Chael, and that's 100% right. Like I didn't know. He better get fucking loud on social media like right now, because like I said, I don't understand how could. I didn't know that. I can't fucking believe they brought Usyk into the fucking ring. But again, that does demonstrate the chances anyone was giving to Francis. 0. They had it all planned out. They had it like all planned that Usyk is coming in. They've already announced a fucking date. They got that shit booked in December. All that did is diminish the fucking pay-per-view numbers. Although I don't think I don't think many people were going to buy it. Dude, by the way, in Mexico, I think I tweeted this, but like in Mexico, I bought it through DAZN. Like, so through ESPN, if you buy pay-per-views, but you're at least in Punta Cana. I was in Punta Cana when Lomachenko fought one time, and I bought the fight through ESPN, and then they wouldn't let me stream it. I turned on my VPN, and they still wouldn't let me stream it. So to this morning, I was like, I got to make sure that I'm able to get this thing. I subscribed to DAZN, and then the fight was $8.99 down here. And I was like, $8.90. What the fuck? I texted Chael. I was like, how much are you seeing the fucking fight for out there? It's $79.99. I'm like, Jesus. So just for the record, if anyone had a VPN and they wanted to see if it works, Mexico is a good spot to go to because you can still buy the fight for what Mexico pays, which was $9 fucking dollars instead of $79. So that happened, you know. But yeah, dude, Francis has to demand a rematch, dude. He has to. Because like I said, dude, this is a performance that transcends his inability to promote on the microphone. Like it's one of those things that like it speaks for itself. And they must have completely had it planned that Usyk was going to get in the ring regardless of what happened. Why is someone else calling me from Mexico, dude? Hello? Yes. What do you got? Oh yeah. What's up? I'm coming. Oh no, I know. It's in my calendar. I'm 100%. I'm coming down. I'll be there. How long are you there for? You'll be there till 10:30. I'll be there way up. What's that? I'll be there way before 10:30. I'll be there in the next 30 minutes. Okay, bye. That's my bone skull. I hope it looks good. Oh my God, dude. They need to take an extra 10 minutes after the fight and count proper. The decision's always dodgy. Yeah, he Francis beat him up, dude. Bottom line. Francis beat him up. If someone doesn't get knocked out, they count up the fight, the punches, they count them up. So sometimes that's why I'm saying I have no idea what the round count was because I don't know. I was too emotional to fucking be doing anything other than just like I couldn't fucking believe I couldn't believe it. So before the fight, everybody's talking I put Francis's odds well under 5%, kind of maybe to 0. And after the first round, I was like, I take it back, dude. I completely retract because he looked so you could just tell in the first round, nothing really happened, but you could tell you were like, oh, this, you could see that he was prepared to box. You know what I mean? Dude, listen. If you wanted to talk, discuss the credibility of boxing as a sport, if you wanted to question it, right? Conor wins the first 5 rounds against Mayweather, even though Mayweather's trying to tire him out. When Conor was fresh, he won all of those rounds. Did you guys know? You want to talk about fucking shady judging? This is from 2017. I don't know if you guys were active back then. So if you weren't, I'm sure most of you guys know this story, but I'll tell it anyway. Schaub and Chael bet $100,000 on the Conor and Mayweather fight, and I can't remember which one bet what, but one of them bet that Conor would not win a single round, and the other one bet that he would. So it's just he had to win one round, Conor win one round. And the scores came out, and the fucking judges had given every round to Mayweather, which was there's not one person in the history of the world that could have watched the first round and given it to Floyd Mayweather. He landed no punches. Conor landed tons of punches. It's just stone corrupt judging. And so the outcome was they agreed that it was a wash because whoever, I can't remember which was which. One of them brought the money and the other one's like, wait, what? I lost. They're like, no, you won. And then they axed the fucking bet. That's why when they went to split decision, I said that I was like, they're going to fuck him. They're going to fuck Francis, dude. Especially because think about this, dude. If you really want to think about this 1 point split decision, they got Usyk there, dude. They got Usyk there. Did you guys see that venue? Saudi Arabia, you know the kind of money these Saudis have? You understand? That's their first event there. I guarantee you that the plan is to do Usyk versus Tyson Fury there. So just think about that for a second. If they've got Usyk and Tyson Fury booked already for December, Okay. You're in Saudi Arabia, dude. The reason that you stopped hearing Dana or anyone from the organization talking shit about Francis, maybe because they really genuinely weren't going to, but no one fucks with the Saudis. No one fucks with the Saudis. Khashoggi or whatever, the journalist for the Washington Post, who had lived in America, was essentially an American at this point, was saying negative things about the royal family in Saudi Arabia, and they lured him to an embassy in, I believe, Turkey, and then they killed him and dismembered him with a bone saw, and everyone knows it. Like, there's no question that's what happened. Saudi Arabia, the royal family sent out assassins. They brought a Saudi Arabian American to an embassy who went in there to get a license to marry his fiance, who was waiting outside, and they dismembered him with a bone saw. And what happened? Nothing. Everyone knows what they did. Nothing happened. No one fucks with them, dude. You think it's like 1 point split decision? How much money have they already invested? You know what I mean? Like, just saying, if judges knew that, hey, what do you got? We obviously need to say it's a split decision. 1 point, 1 point in the direction of Francis Ngannou. Breaking news, Dana White Chael's son is hospitalized after suffering heart attacks and multiple anal aneurysms. I could tell you that Chael is definitely still alive, but it's been a rough week for Dana for sure, dude. That's a rough week for Dana. This Bud Light shit, this, John Jones tearing his pec. That's a rough fucking injury, dude. That's a really rough injury. My really good friend just had that happen. He's insane. He tore his pec at jiu-jitsu. He's a Cesar Gracie guy that's where, like, from my old school. And he's completely crazy. Like, this dude, he's my favorite person on earth. any of you guys that have ever gone to any of you guys who went to the Jake Paul, Nate Diaz fight or UFC 274, he's the kind of yoked, like, Chinese guy that came with us. So he's one of those guys that, like, embraces hell on earth for some reason. Like, he likes doing these, like, fucking 20-mile rucksack hikes. He does them for fun. And he loves the punishment, the shit that most people don't like. He, like, enjoys it. And so he has destroyed his body training through injuries forever. And so he tore the big part of the muscle that attaches to the bone over here. It tore completely off. He was set to go to a jiu-jitsu camp that's a week long on the East Coast that he had paid for months ago. And he's like, I'm still just gonna do it, dude. I'm like, with a torn pec muscle. And he's like, I'm just gonna go super easy. I'm like, dude, that's not an injury that you can just, like, go super easy. That's fucking insane. And he's like, what I had to go to, like, one of the most credible humans on earth when it comes to jiu-jitsu and injuries, text message him and then screenshot his answer and send it to Bill. I was like, he's saying that you're a complete fucking moron if you go. I actually don't know if he went or not. I assume that he didn't go, but he has to have surgery and it's a super long recovery. It's fucking gnarly, dude. But that happened. I mean, just, God, again, I just want to stress this part the most. The UFC did not want Francis to fight Tyson Fury because they didn't think it was a big draw and they didn't think it was a big fight, and they thought Tyson Fury was going to beat the living shit out of Francis. What has now happened is that Francis did 100 times better than anyone expected, arguably beat Tyson Fury. Now his profile is through the roof, and he is fighting for the PFL. That is a very rough outcome. And you guys know, dude, I never root against the UFC. Like, I take no pleasure in this at all. I want Francis in the UFC so he could fight fucking Pavlovich and, Aspinall, John Jones, I want him in the UFC. I take no pleasure in this. I'm happy for him that he's going to make a fortune. Now, he already made a fortune with the PFL deal. He's making, really good money here. But in this fight, he didn't make, like, that much more money than he could have made for, like, the John Jones fight, as an example. Would have been probably similar money. But the combined money between the PFL deal and this one was with guarantees was astronomically higher than UFL. But nonetheless, now his next boxing match is going to do fucking bananas numbers, and they are going to pay him accordingly. Especially if they do, dude. I think the Tyson Fury Francis fight is a way bigger fight than Usyk now. Like, everybody's been hearing about Usyk, you know, like, oh, I hear this Ukrainian guy is really good. He didn't even look that good in his last fight. Like, this is the rematch is a way bigger fight, in my opinion. I'm obviously very biased, but Mr. Fantastic, thank you very much. I agree with the scorecards. Fury won, but it's a win for Francis because Fury should have schooled Francis since he is arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time. Happy for Francis. Yeah. I mean, again, like, I'm not gonna pretend like I have any kind of handle on the scorecards because my heart was literally beating out of my chest as I was watching that fight. I can't. Jesus, I've been live for 45 minutes. Okay, I gotta go, you guys. I'm on vacation, but I love all of you guys. Anybody who got insulted up with my opinion on the Bud Light boycott, I don't give a shit about that. Do whatever you want. I love all of you guys. I love Francis, love Markel, love fucking Chael. I love everybody. That was the most inspiring thing I have ever seen in my entire life, and I am going to go have some drinks, put my kids to bed, and then work that over for about 7 hours tonight. That's what I'm doing, and I hope you guys have a similarly awesome night. Good night. I love you guys. Oh, shit. Hang on. Just got one more. Yes. Thank you for the super chat. PFL value just went up. Can't wait to see his first PFL fight. So let me take that one real quick. The PFL has to go outside the MMA community and try to get a huge boxing crossover. If they can get Deontay Wilder to fight in PFL first, and then they put that on the same card as Jake Paul versus fill in the blank, my opinion, no brainer. You pay Dylan Dennis whatever you have to get him to fight Jake Paul in fucking MMA. You know, on paper, you would think insane fight for Jake Paul. Totally insane. If Dylan Dennis grabs a hold of his wrist, that is a wrap, dude. Anyway, I got to run. I love you guys. Thank you guys again. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for hanging out. Love you guys.